So now let's take a look at the probability that there are exactly 15 calls in 2 hours. Okay, so let's name a random variable. We'll call it x. That's the number of calls in 2 hours. Okay, remember that our lambda was 10 calls per hour. Okay, but we've said that the interval in the random variable has to agree with the interval in the rate. So that 10 calls per hour would suggest 20 calls in 2 hours. Okay? So now we want to know what's the probability that there are exactly 15 calls. What's the probability that x takes on the value exactly 15 in 2 hours? So what's the probability that x equals 15? Okay? That is our rate, lambda, 20 to the 15, e to the minus 20, divided by 15 factorial. Okay? If we work that out, we get 0.0516. Okay, 0.0516. That says that roughly 5% of the time, we will see exactly 15 calls per hour in, 15 calls in 2 hours. Okay? Roughly 5% of the time, we'll see exactly 15 calls in a 2-hour span. Okay? Let's take a look at another example. What's the probability that there are exactly 6 or 7 calls in 30 minutes? Okay? So let's name a random variable. We'll call it w. That's the number of calls in 30 minutes. Okay? And we need to know a rate with this interval, 30 minutes. So now lambda is going to be, well, originally it was 10 calls per hour. On average, that would suggest that we would on average see 5 calls in 30 minutes. Okay? So now we have a rate, and we can find out what's the probability that x takes on, or pardon me, w takes on the value 6 or 7. Okay? So what's the probability that w takes on the value 6 or 7? Okay? This is the probability w equals 6, or the probability that w equals 7. Okay? Calculate this pretty easily. That's our rate, 5 to the 6 e to the minus 5 divided by 6 factorial, or 5 to the 7 e to the minus 5 divided by 7 factorial. Okay? You can do this out, calculate this in Excel. Okay, this would just be a straightforward calculation in Excel, 5 caret 6 multiplied by the the exponent function in Excel is exp. So if we use exp of -5, that would give us this value. And then the factorial function in Excel, we didn't talk about this previously, I don't think, but the factorial function is fact. So fact of 6, we could put that in the denominator. So we got 5 caret 6 times exp of -5 divided by fact of 6, and that would give us this probability. We could do the same thing over here, and if we sum those up, we should get 0.2507. Okay, so what's the probability that we see 6 or 7 calls exactly in the next 30 minutes? 0.2507. 25% of the time, we'll see exactly 6 or 7 calls in a 30-minute span.